everyone. Welcome to the Phoenix Rise podcast. I am Claire, your host, and welcome. If you're new, welcome to the vibes. It is high energy over here, so I hope you're ready for the ride. And if you're coming back again, so lovely to have you with us. This is the place where we talk all things business, spirituality, and mindset. So no matter what camp you're in, we've got you covered. It's not one world or the other over here. We get to have it all, babe. So this is going to be a really exciting episode. I have got a fellow speaker from the Women Thrive Summit who is Jackie Adams. And Jackie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Claire. So my name is Jackie Adams, and we are actually talking from like opposite ends of the world right now. I love this. So I live on the West Coast of the United States, and I am a certified hypnotist, breathwork facilitator, energy healer, and business coach. And I help women to heal their subconscious stories, habits, patterns in order to fully show up as the fullest authentic expression of yourself so that you can make more money and make more impact in your online-based business.
Yes. Love it. Such an amazing intro and completely our vibe. So I'm sure everyone is right there with you. That's what we love to talk about over here. So for you guys listening or watching, me and Jackie have only just met. So we're in the Speakers Summit and we've connected and we vibed off each other's energies. And we were just like, we need to just get together and just see what goodness comes out. So we have nothing planned for you. We are very much on the same wavelength. We're just going to see where this conversation takes us and trust the nuggets that come out are going to be for you listening right now. So where should we dive in? Why don't we dive in with how did you end up doing what you're doing now, Jackie? Let's hear a bit about the story.
Oh my gosh. Well, this story could probably last for hours, so I will kind of make a shortened version. But essentially, when I was younger, I didn't have much growing up in the way of material goods, and I just really always wanted to do the opposite of what I had in my younger years, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to make sure that I had certainty, that I always had money, that I always knew where my next paycheck was going to come from, that there was no doubt in that. And so I still wanted to help people. I wanted to be that nurturing person that I am on the inside. I think a lot of us women have that innate ability.
What star sign are you?
What's that?
What star sign are you?
Virgo.
Same. I knew it.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I knew it.
Oh my gosh, soul sisters. So I became a nurse and I went into the medical field and I helped people, and I had that, set paycheck every other week. And I was, I knew where it was coming from. I wanted to have like career options. I got married. I had kids. Everything that I thought I needed, I had on the surface, and yet I was still somehow bringing my like underlying tones of stress, anxiety, constant worry, constant being broke. How did I change all of my life circumstances and yet still have the same habits and patterns subconsciously, right? I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. We think that the things are going to bring us the feelings, but the feelings stay.
Bring us the things.
Exactly. So my life started kind of crumbling. I want to say maybe like 7-8 years ago. And I wasn't happy in my marriage. We were always fighting about everything, especially money. I was just constantly stressed, worried about everything, always coming up with a reason to be stressed. It was like I was addicted to stress, really. I call it like
I'm so with you.
stress addiction, right? It was like a problem would get solved. And then I was like searching, looking for the next drama, the next thing that was going to bring me that feeling, even though I said I hated it.
Yeah.
What?
I can't. This is just too similar.
Right? And so I finally got to a point where I'm like, I need help. And I started looking for ways to make money online because I didn't want to have to leave my babies. Honestly, it was so hard to leave them. at daycare every day and knowing that I was the breadwinner and I had to do that. And so I started looking at ways to make money online, looking into, MLMs and other ways that were like get rich quick that I didn't know anything about, just for like on the side, right? I got really deep into some of them. Like, it's really embarrassing. I get these like Facebook memories, some of them, I'm like, oh my God, what was I?
When we're in that stage, like I remember before I started my very first business, and it's like, that you want to do your own thing, but you have no idea what to do. And you're just like, I need some kind of inspiration. I need something to jump out at me.
It's like you're looking for the way to make the most money the fastest. That's what I was doing. But the mistake I made was going after something that would make me money, or so I thought, and not something I was actually passionate about. Yeah. So I was selling ugly leggings. That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was I passionate about leggings? Absolutely not. But I thought it was going to make me money. And it did to a certain... What's that?
Did you have to wear them?
Yeah. And I tried to like them. And anyways, that went way off topic into some serious details. But it's just, when you're selling something or showing up for another company that isn't congruent with your passion, your heart, what you have to offer, like your true gifts, you're selling yourself short.
Yeah.
100%. You're really selling yourself short, and it's not like those subconscious patterns are going to actually go away with this new dream. I think it was my practice businesses, as I call them. Did you have some practice businesses?
Yeah, 100%. Although, to be fair, for me, it was, so I had a lot of practice ideas. So I would constantly have all these ideas. And my biggest one was like the one that nearly came to fruition but didn't, was going to be, I was early 20s, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to set up like a networking event for young entrepreneurs, because I couldn't find anything where there were people like me. Everything was like the old, without being too stereotypical, it was the old men in grey suits, like being really kind of blue chip, white collar, and I was just like, this is not not
the vibe.
And so that was kind of like my nearly baby that didn't come to fruition. But for me, my practice baby I still have now. So I practiced along the way, but I managed to bring it up without killing it. Which has been an interesting journey. But why don't we dive into, let's just touch on this topic, because I think this is really important when people are in businesses that are their own, right? And I think we can feel like, okay, I'm doing my own thing, so therefore this must be how it is. This must just be what entrepreneurs do. Maybe I don't really enjoy it. Maybe it's not lighting me up, but this is how I can achieve the life that I really want. It can give me the freedom. It can give me the money. It can give me the success that I'm after. This is just how it's got to be. And I don't know about you, but for me, I ended up literally working more than I had ever worked in my life. Like, I would work like a dog. It was to the point where I would say no to holidays. I would miss my kids' school plays, like parents' evenings, because I was so in the grind and the hustle and the burnout culture that it was, okay, I'm sacrificing now, but it's for the greater good, it's going to be all right. This is for the long-term kind of benefit. And that never came because I wasn't in alignment. I wasn't in my purpose. I wasn't in my dharma. So I was just going round and round doing the same thing, the pure definition of madness, doing the same thing, expecting different results year after year after year, and never getting any further. It's like that hamster wheel, like you're running and you're running and you're running and you're not moving. It's so did you experience that? How did you transition from the leggings to then doing something you're passionate about?
Yes. Yes. So I have a couple different things to say because I absolutely understand the hustle and the grind where you feel like you just have to grind because we get so many mixed messages. I feel like there's the bro marketing culture where it's like, you got to grind, you just got to work and it will pay off. And you'll get there. Yeah. Get up at 5 a.m., work till midnight, just every single break, and that will break you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially as women, like those of us women who identify as our feminine being our primary, like in the polarizing between masculine and feminine, if we are primarily in our feminine, we need to feel heard and seen, to feel appreciated, to feel cherished. And it's all about experiencing life. So if you're not out there experiencing what you want to feel right now, if your business is not bringing you more joy than like grind and hustle, then you're going to be so off balance that you're going to go into a rabbit hole and maybe never come out. So I think it's really important to understand your purpose. You said that. Yeah. So knowing what your purpose is and your mission, and when you can really like grasp your hands onto that, verbalize it, say it out loud, tell your friends, tell your mom and dad. Like if you can really like understand what your mission is, then that's more important than hustling and grinding yourself into a ball of anxiety. Because when we like find something, like when we're chasing the money as opposed to like being centered and knowing who we are and who we're serving and what our purpose is, it's going to be this endless rat race.
100%. And I think as well, like when you're chasing something, it runs away, right? So,
yes,
you know,
it's always in the future.
100%. And like, I work a lot with the energetics of wealth. And it's like, there's this great example that one of my mentors uses. And it's if you're in a playground and there's this kid like running at you, like they're playing, you know, kiss chase or whatever it is, and they're pelting at you. You're not just going to stand there with open arms. You're going to run the hell away. And it's like, we're doing this with money all the time. We're chasing, and we're expecting it to be there with open arms. And it's like, it's running away. What I love is that when we're in our purpose and when we're in our more feminine, that's the energy of flow, right? That's the energy of ease. And that's the energy of attraction. And when you are in your purpose, you're not grinding, you're not hustling, you're not burning out. You're just living. And this, you know, there's a thing that I like to say, and I'm like, fuck balance. You want harmony.
Yeah.
You know, balance implies sacrifice. Balance implies that one thing is more important than the other. That means that there's a misalignment, because what you actually want is harmony in your life, where there is no, oh, this or this. Because everything is just one and the same, because you're just living your purpose. You're just being you and attracting money because you're helping people in the way that you're here to help them. And it's not, you know, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like grind. It definitely doesn't feel like hustle. It just feels like living. And that is when the money flows. That's when abundance will flow. And I think this is why it's so important. And I would love to hear from you about this. So for me, when I had my spiritual awakening and I found my purpose, I was like, okay, this corporate biz over here is not doing it for me. You know, it's not giving me the feels. I kept it. I still have it now, but I delegated, right? I became I like to call a spiritual CEO. So I delegated, I kept in my 5% of genius, and the rest managed by other people. I then put my energy into my spiritual kind of alignment, and I started a business of crystals, which I was super drawn to at the time. And then once I was in alignment, both of those businesses grew to multiple six figures within 18 months, because the energy switched from suppressed, you know, heavy, weighty, very masculine, very controlled, very pushy, you know, all that kind of dense energy that I think a lot of entrepreneurs fall into. And then it was just like, oh my God, this is freaking amazing. Like, I am just loving life. And then that just started a whole journey to where I am now. But it's like the difference between even our own energy of when we're in our purpose, when we're in our alignment. Can you talk a little bit on that and how it affected you in your journey?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So first of all, I love that you said that you don't believe in balance. You believe in harmony. I've never said the harmony word, but like I've always said, yeah, balance. There's no such thing as balance. I think that takes the pressure off us women, when they feel like I have to be balanced, got to strive for balance. Well, if you're striving for something, you're going to always be trying. It's like that trying word, the energy of trying versus the energy of being.
Yeah, I love it.
Because when you're trying, like if someone says like, try to sit in the chair and they go to sit in the chair. No, you didn't try. You sat in the chair. Yes. When you're trying, it's like strain.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We're constantly striving. And like, that's what
balance. And you're thinking about it, aren't you? It's
yes,
like
you're constantly.
Oh, now my awareness is in this. Am I sitting right? Have I missed the edge? Like, am I going to fall on my ass? It's like you're in your head about it. Whereas being just is, right?
Yes. And I'd like to talk about a little bit what you were talking about with always looking at things in the future, right? If you're always looking like, I want this, and that wanting energy is actually, it's not a negative energy. It's just going to always be in the future. Whereas when I work with clients and we talk about what you want to happen, we start with what you want in terms of like what you're going to have materialistically, because that's always fun to think about. That puts you in that energy. But the next question is, who do you have to be to attract those things?
Yes. Oh my God.
What kind of energy do you have to experience? So let's start there. Let's define who your higher self is, what she looks like, what she wears, how she shows up. How does she handle this problem? Yeah. Let's rehearse, like if you're getting into a fight with your husband or your kids or whoever, and you snap at them. Well, let's look back at that from your higher self and think, what would she have done? And let's practice it, because the more you practice, the more repetition that burns into your subconscious. Yeah, exactly. And the thing that I have my clients do every morning and every night before bed is a self-hypnosis practice, which is very similar to meditation, right? You're just getting yourself into a state of deep relaxation. And those like 10 minutes right when you wake up and 10 minutes right before you go to bed are the most, your brain is the most sponge. Yeah. And that you have like the thinnest veil between you and like the door, isn't it? Like I like to call it, it's like the door to the subconscious is higher consciousness, fifth dimension, heaven, universe, whatever you want to call it. The way that you can quantum leap timelines and actually get to where you want to get is by taking advantage of that. And in those moments, programming yourself rather than leaving it up to chance. So scrolling social media and just like, you never know what's going to show up on there. It could be terrible news. It could be like something gross. It could be something that like makes you feel sad. And that's programming you. You're in hypnosis when you're looking at a screen like that. And if you can take advantage of that time and really just go into that space of meditation, hypnosis, deep breathing, get yourself calm, and envision who you want to be, but as your present self. You bring that timeline, you bring the timeline into the present, and you start speaking as if it is happening right now. So you act and behave and think as if it's happening right now, and you feel it. You experience the feelings, because the emotions are what guides us and our decisions.
100%. And when you do it, like I do this every night without.
Good. I love that.
It's something that I teach my clients as well, and it's so powerful. Like it's how I've quantum leaped so much this year. It's literally insane. But the thing is, like you say, I love this conversation so much. So when you're doing it, like, you know that it's real because of the way your body is reacting. So I'm sure you've experienced this as well. So say, for example, you're visioning your dream house and you're in it and you're seeing everything, but you're not looking at you doing it. You are you doing it,
Yes.
So you have to be, not observe, like you have to be there, if that's the right word. And when you're doing it, so I did it and I was envisioning my pool, right, with my sauna. Like I can see it now because I do this like it's so crystal clear, like this house that I will have one day. It's like when I see it, I will know it because I'm just like, yeah, I know where every room is, It's
wow, I love that.
Your body reacts, and it's even though you're visualizing it, you will start to get a smile on your face. You will start to get tingles. You will start to feel as if it were your reality. And the amazing thing is that your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. So it's actually programming it for it to be your reality. And that's how you merge the timelines, right? That's how you quantum leap. It's by becoming. And you do that by basically tricking your subconscious to believing that it already has come.
Right. Because all we have is this present moment. That's literally all we have. Anything else is merely a thought.
Yeah.
And a thought carries an energetic frequency.
Yep.
So if we are wasting this present moment on thinking about the past or the future in a negative way, we're attaching that energetic frequency to that thought and putting it out there. So if we can bring into our present, if we can appreciate our present moment and also take advantage of assigning an energetic frequency to a thought about our future, that helps to quantum leap us there.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll just give the audience a little visual here because I actually have a free exercise that I give out to people to quantum leap. So to do this actual, this is so in rhythm. I love it. But so one of my visions, right? So this year, for people who are listening, if you've been on my journey, you'll know. But if you're new, I have been manifesting becoming a motivational speaker, right? That's the path that I'm on at the moment. And it's something that lights my body up, like so much. So I know it's for me, but it also scares the shit out of me, right? That's how I know that it's right, because I have But so I was manifesting this, and one of the visuals that I had was on the stage in front of an audience in this red suit, right? Never had a red suit in my life, but red's one of my colors. So I was in this red suit and I was in it. I was saying the words. I was fully immersed in this vision. And this was every night for a good while, like probably a month or so. And I swear to God, one of the first times that I went shopping in ages, walked into Zara, there was the red suit. And I was just like, oh my God, I bought it straight away, because I was just like, there is absolutely no way. That is not a sign. I am buying it right now. And it is in my wardrobe upstairs. And I just know that that is the suit I will wear on my first stage. But this is the thing, when you get crystal clear on your vision, on whatever it is that you're manifesting, the universe will give you signs. It will send you synchronicities, but your job is to see them, right? Your job is to actually be open to seeing where they turn up. Because I could have walked into Zara that day, maybe been in my head about something, maybe been on the phone if I was like in a hustle and grind, and a whole array of situations could have happened where I didn't see it, or where I looked at it but I didn't clock it, or where I was just in my own world and didn't think about it, But because I was so crystal clear about my North Star, about my vision, about what I wanted to achieve and who I wanted to become, I was looking for the signs. I was looking for the synchronicities, and lo and behold, there it was. Have you had any experiences like that?
Absolutely. You were programming your subconscious and you were activating your reticular activating system. I don't know if you've heard of that before. And that's amazing. Also, you were programming your intuition. I do want to touch a little bit on intuition, because I feel like, especially as women, we have been desensitized to train our intuition that it doesn't matter, that we shouldn't listen to it. that there's the certain way that we should be, that we should do things, and that we're wrong. And it programs us to kind of quiet that, when really our intuition is like our body telling us what we need to do, giving us like little yeses or nos or twins or chills. And that is like what the divine feminine is meant to be at all times, is listening to our intuitions.
100%.
And it's so important, like, because what you were just everything you were just explaining, I feel like you have really stepped up to program not only your subconscious mind and your entire energetic frequency, because you're probably like, if we have like an energetic frequency around us, yours is just like beaming like a mile away, because you've really activated that. And you've also created this increased of sensitivity within your intuition so that you can identify where you need to go, what you need to do, what is in alignment with your highest vision, because you've defined that for yourself. And that is such a great example to lead others. And I applaud you for creating your own seat at the table, because you've decided, you made your own seat at the table. You decided that you're going to be a speaker. And guess what? You're a speaker. Not only do you have a podcast, so you're already a speaker, you now are on a stage for Women Thrive Summit. You were selected as a speaker. That is huge. And after this, I mean, it's endless possibilities for you. You've created that seat at the table. And I think we as women, we deserve to do that. Whatever table we want to sit at, make our own seat.
100%.
We don't need to just wait around for someone to invite us there. We can make that decision, step into the energy that we need to in order to make that happen, and do it.
Yeah, totally. And I think, we won't go on too much longer, because I know we've probably kept you guys long, but this conversation is just so juicy. But I think a massive thing that I just want us to end on there maybe is how, as women especially, we can just feel so, what's the right word here? Well, you know what we can feel? We can feel a lot of shame around our dreams and around our ambitions and around our aspirations. And especially if we also class ourselves as spiritual, right? Or maybe we want to be more spiritual, we can feel like I can't be both. The spiritual world does not really go with the business world, or like I can't be awakened and ambitious. It's kind of taboo. It's kind of like I can't. What? Neither world wants me. Where do I belong? And I definitely had a massive situation with this when I had my spiritual awakening, my first one, and I'm really ambitious, right? I've got big dreams. I'm a visionary. I've got massive goals, massive aspirations. I know that I'm here to make a big impact in the world. But when the spiritual world heard that, it was like, no, you don't. It was like, that doesn't belong here. Check it at the door. That's not allowed in this world. And it was kind of like, well, hang on, and I think so many of us can almost close ourselves off to the concept of spirituality, spiritual connection, whatever you want to define it as. We feel like, well, if I want success, if I want to be a successful businesswoman, if I want to have wealth, right? If I want to make this impact in the world, if I want to build a big business, whatever your dreams are around that, then I can't be in the spiritual world, because they're telling me that this is egotistic. They're telling me that I'm materialistic. They're telling me that this is not the way in the spiritual world. Have you experienced anything like that yourself?
Absolutely. And I feel like some people might think that there's this spectrum of like business ambition and then like this spiritual, like feeling flowy, like no. It's nebulous, it's cyclical, it's all around. And I really feel like having both allows us to be more well-rounded. And also, I think when you declare something to the universe and you make a decision, you say, I want to be an entrepreneur. And you're like, wow, okay, I declared that. even if you don't say it to anybody, you just say it to yourself.
Yeah.
What happens is the universe is like, all right, bet. I'm going to make sure that we test the shit out of you right now. And I'm going to send you a lot of opportunities to show me and show yourself that you really want this. Like last week, it's crazy. My husband and I decided that we were going to go through Reiki 1 together. I've already done Reiki 1 in the past. And my mentor, who also trained me in hypnosis, she's amazing. She was like, okay, you're declaring right now to the universe that you want to learn how to manage your own energy better. Is this correct? And I'm like, yes, we want to manage our own energy better. And she said, okay, I just want to warn you. When people make that kind of declaration, the universe answers by giving you a lot of energy to manage. So don't be surprised if shit gets real this week. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it did. Like, we had the most psychotic week. Just like things happened that have never happened to us before. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. Okay. I got the opportunity to manage my own energy. I hear you loud and clear, you know? So I think when that happens to people where they make the declaration that they want to do something or accomplish something, and they think it's going to be smooth sailing, like the universe is just going to give them what they want. No, the universe is going to give you what you need in order to learn the lessons, make the mistakes, and learn everything you need in order to up level, because you can't up level if everything's just handed to you. Yeah. However, you can be given the opportunities to be better. Yeah. Right. And we have to change. Yes. We have to change our mindset about that by saying, okay, I hear you. Great. Thank you. Let me navigate how to figure this out and then get to the next level and look back on this and say, really?
Yeah, it's like all the tests, right? And it's like, do you really want this? Do you really want this? Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Prove it.
Yeah. Are you going to give up? Are you going to give up? And it's like, you have to go through those tests, like almost the tests of how much do you want it? You know, are you going to give up? Yeah. Are you going to give up? And then the universe is like, all right, you're still there. You're still knocking on my door. Yeah.
And once you learn it, you have a story now. Now you have you've been through the trial and tribulations. Now you can relate to your clients better. Now you can truly by learning it yourself and getting through that yourself with the assistance of the universe, of course. 100%. You've up leveled and now you're ready for the next level. Exactly. So it is a gift.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, it touches on, we all have our mountains, right? We all have our lives that we go through, and we've all been through our traumas, and we've all got all of this shit that we've kind of waded through. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are now. We wouldn't be, like, if I hadn't been in my abusive relationship, I wouldn't be able to be on a stage talking about overcoming fear. If I hadn't messed up time and time and time again in my business endeavors, I wouldn't be able to coach other entrepreneurs in how to do it the right way. If I hadn't mastered my own money story, and my ex was a compulsive gambler, 15 years I had to live with that. So you can imagine the money stories that I had. So,
oh my gosh, yes.
If I hadn't overcome that, I wouldn't have been able to attract the money that I have and to be able to help others do it. So it's like everything that we get tested with is for a reason. And when you're in it, it doesn't feel like that. And sometimes it's hard to see the end, right? When you're in the midst of it. But if you hold on to your North Star, and if you hold on to where you're going, and you have a clear direction, and you've put it in the sat nav, and you know where you're actually going, then you can trust that the things happening to you are happening for you and not to you. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to stay on course. I'm going to stay on course. I've got the end in sight. I'm going to enjoy the journey whilst I'm on it, because that's the point, right? That's the point in life, to enjoy it. And then you get to your destination. But if you block yourself off from the journey, you're never going to get to the end goal, right? You've got to travel. You've got to grow to be able to get there in the first place.
Right. And it's okay to take a break if it's too much.
There are loads of services.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay to rest. In fact, we have to rest. what was that? They just had this study. I don't know if you saw this recently, but they're like, like the big forest old growth trees that are like, 100 feet. They're just gigantic. These huge trees. They grew these trees. They wanted to grow these trees, but they wanted to like take away the hormone that had the rest period so that they wouldn't rest. They would just like rapidly grow.
Oh,
so they manipulated it and the trees died because they didn't get rest.
Wow.
So I think that's a message for all of us. We can't just go and go and go and do and do and do and not rest. We are cyclical beings.
Just going to say that.
And we need to rest. We need to appreciate. We need to let it all soak in. We need to daydream. We need to unwind.
And when you're in that, that's when you become the most magnetic people.
Yes.
Like I can't tell you, when I'm on holiday, when I'm just out, like if people watch my Instagrams and stuff, like if I'm just like rolling down a hill, being like a big kid, right? Just literally living my best life unapologetically. I'm 37. I don't care. If I want to roll down a hill, I'm gonna. But those are the times when you become magnetic because your energy is just alive. You're just in the zest of life. You're just in pure bliss. And that's when you magnetize your tribe, you magnetize money, you magnetize everything that is meant for you because you're just aligned. You're in your highest self. You're in your highest frequency. And that's like the secret sauce right there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like just to kind of bring it back to, I think this started with my story.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
We've gone on like 40 tangents, which I've absolutely loved, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I just want to kind of like bring it back to once I realized that I needed to create a business that was soul aligned. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had to kind of let everything fall apart in my life.
Yeah.
And in order for everything to fall apart, it had to be put back together with some kind of tools. And I discovered, I kept seeing online, everyone kept telling me to go to self-help events, right? Like in-person events. And I like had never experienced it before. So I started hearing like, you got to go see Tony Robbins, you got to go to Unleash the Power Within. Yeah. So I was like, fine, I'm going to go. And so I went, I walked on fire. I learned how to subconsciously reprogram myself. I got hooked. I then started volunteering at all his events, and I went like 7 more times, walked on fire all those times, which is a total metaphor, right? If you can walk on fire, you can do anything. And it really, it's hypnosis. That's how you do it. As you just change all the resonance of your cells into love instead of fear. And that is literally how you walk on fire. It's wild. So all these like modalities that put me back together and all of my past business experiences from my trial and failure businesses of being totally misaligned, I was able to really understand that these modalities helped destroy my limiting beliefs, help me create better relationships with myself and other people around me, find inner peace, totally eliminate. I'm not going to say eliminate stress because, well, we know it's always going to be there, but totally get rid of the stress addiction and like be able to recognize it in its path and then quantum leap my timelines. And the primary modality I used with that was hypnosis. And so when I started practicing and attracting all these women who had businesses, I was like, oh, I guess this is it. Like, these are the people that I need to serve because this is like the past version of myself. Yeah. And if nobody wants to learn from someone or hire someone as a coach or a healer who has had everything handed to them their whole lives.
No, they need to know that you've walked the path, that you can, and that you can walk up the mountain with them, right? That you're not just stood at the top, like, come on. It's like you can actually walk the path with them. And because you've done it before, you know the steps, you know the safest routes, you know where not to go to get eaten by a bear, you know like the way to climb this mountain in like the least painful way. And I think
Right.
that is the benefit of working with people like us, right?
Yes.
We've suffered, so you don't have to. It's like we learned the hard way so that you can learn from our experiences.
Right. Could you imagine at the beginning of our journey if we would have just found someone exactly like us?
I wish. Like, it would have saved me a lot of painful and expensive lessons.
So expensive. Yes.
Right. So we have Yap Page. I could talk to you forever. I absolutely love you. So Jackie, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram a lot. So find me there first and foremost. My handle is _ it's Jackie Adams, and my website is itsjackieadams.com. I do have a free limiting belief elimination hypnosis track. If you want to download that, it's really easy, quick, simple. Get a lot of results with that. And I also have my new podcast that is launching called the Subconscious CEO Podcast. So excited to have you on that once I get going with more episodes. But I am very excited. And it's really all about reprogramming the subconscious mind in order to get seen, heard, and paid.
Absolutely love it. We'll put all of that in the show notes below as well. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We'll definitely have to do a part 2.
Yes, absolutely.
And we will see you soon. Thanks everyone for joining. And I hope you had so much fun. That was just epic. And I will see you all next time.